Hey.
Hey,
West Coast
hey,
Wednesdays. What's good?
what is good?
Here at Mo and Mel, I've had a crazy Wednesday already, so I apologize in advance if I'm a little groggy or whatnot, but we're going to push through. It's still Women's History Month. We got a great guest that'll tap in with us in a little bit, so stay tuned. Cassandra, the Sportsnista, will be joining us,
I
so look forward to
know.
talking to her. What am I looking for right now?
Yeah,
I
it'll be
think,
great.
yeah, I'm on
That we
some
get.
cold meds right now. I started getting like this little scratch, so I'm just trying to like not have any. So I think I'm just a little dazed and confused off that right now.
Jeez. Well, you need to be dazed and confused after all this news and announcements of the world of sports and football and all this stuff going on. I mean,
So much stuff. So we
crazy.
definitely have a lot of hot topics to talk. We have hot topics. We got some Hugadores updates on some people. We definitely need to talk about this free agency frenzy that's been happening. Literally just today was the first day um
Of all the free
for
agents. Yeah, everyone. Juju Smith-Schuster.
well,
I was
it's the
like
new
looking. I'm
year,
like,
the new year that
Jacoby
begins
Brissett.
today.
I'm like,
Yeah.
all these names getting thrown out. What's
I
going
can't even
on?
keep up. I can't
I
even keep
can't.
up. All I know is
I
that the
can't.
Panthers have been the Panthers been making moves. I know that
Bears
I was
made money
surprised
moves.
money moves. I'm surprised Zeke got released. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I
Yeah.
am surprised. I mean, I feel like that's kind of Dak's threat that, hey, if you don't get this show together next year, you'll be gone too.
I don't know because I don't try to be in the Cowboys business because I can't stand them. I just want to sit back, eat popcorn, and watch it all crumble, in my
I
opinion.
know,
But not
right?
even to mention you got March Madness going on. The brackets are starting, like all of that. I
Listen,
just made my bracket
listen.
predictions today. I got 14 hours. If you guys have the app, you have 14 hours left to
Which
choose
app are
how
you
your
on?
brackets
Because
are gonna
there's
go.
ESPN, there's
Yep.
Yahoo.
There's a
Which one do
March
you use?
Madness
Both?
CBS one. 14 hours, you guys. That's where we're
So I
at.
haven't done a guys one yet because I really feel like I'm more interested in the women's basketball this year for some reason.
Oh yeah, the women's is popping
The
right
women's
now.
is hot,
Southern is
and so
playing
for
Sacred Heart right now. Southern Women's University is playing Sacred Heart, and then they go on to
yeah,
play
they're in
Stanford.
the first fours.
Yeah, they're playing right
Yeah,
now.
so I'm really impressed. Also, if you didn't see it on our post, I did start a Girl Chat Sports Women's Bracket Challenge. So if you go to the ESPN Tournament Challenge app or the ESPN Fantasy app, you can search for Girl Chat Sports. You can also find the link in our group that I posted. Hey, whoever wins, I'll get you a beanie or a Girl Chat Sports hat, or I think there's visors still. So you'll get a
That'll be
hat or a
cool.
beanie for the winner. There's still time to get in there and sign up. I'll post that again a little bit later, but why don't we get into we'll update some Hugadores and then we'll get into some hot topics. I think our guest Sportsnista will be joining us shortly after. But of course, we got the update on John Morant today. He had his
Mm-hmm.
interview. He had the interview with Jalen Rose that I think will be on SportsCenter tonight, the full interview. But he basically got out of his Florida counseling program and went directly and met with Adam Silver in New York today. They had a discussion. He said that he realizes what he has to lose, and for us as a group, what we have to lose is pretty much just that: being more responsible, more smarter, staying away from all the bad influences and decisions. And in the future, I'm going to show everybody who Ja really is, what I'm about, and change the narrative that everybody has of him. He also talked about learning some techniques on stress management, doing Reiki, having anxiety breathing, and he said that he feels better. He feels good now than he has in the so many years. That he really kind of just got dropped into league. And you think about these kids that are 19, starting in the NBA, and what others, where are all those supports for these guys to maybe help balance out mental health and the stress or complete change from one thing to another that they're dealing with? I mean, I kind of feel for him in that respect. Not to say that his actions were worthy of that, but we don't have the good support coming out of high school or coming out of college with, you're not even 21 yet and you're getting tasked with a lot of responsibility. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts on Ja. But he got an 8-game suspension. He already did 6. supposedly he's able to do 2 more and then be again, but he hasn't really practiced since he's been in the counseling or been training. So they're going to give him a few more days. We'll see when he gets back officially. So,
well, he's expected
good
to
luck
play
to
on the
Joe.
20th. He's supposed to be playing on Monday. So,
Well, they said he
that's
may
what I
not
read.
because he's not ready.
Yeah,
He hasn't been in the gym since Friday.
yeah. Well, he's got Friday. What he's got Saturday, Sunday, maybe Monday. I don't know. If John Moran is as beast as he says he is, they're a house of cards right now. Desmond Bain just got ejected out of the game tonight for punching Kevin Love in the groin. Not intentionally, but I got flagrant 2, and he just got ejected. So this game is
not intentionally. How are you even punching towards the groin?
It's not even like you're defensively. I saw the play, and if you have to go back and take a look at it. But it's like he charged into him, and the way Kevin Love grabbed his crotch, it was like his facial expression. Oh my God. It was something else. It was something to see. It was like ouch. It looked like an ouch.
It looked like an ouch.
They're a mess. They're a mess. And so that's the thing that we're at right now. It's very entertaining to see the Grizzlies kind of just have all these shenanigans. I mean, in a good way and a bad way. But you never want to wish anybody losing their career and all that kind of stuff for what Ja's done, but because of this whole situation, this seems like a house of cards and stuff.
There's a lot going on for him. A lot going on for them.
Dylan Brooks is a problem. Now you got Desmond Bain out. Like, it's just too much. They're their own telenovela. It's a lot.
It's a whole telenovela.
It is all day.
I mean, who knows? It's a lot. So
I don't know. I just think that you have to just be smart. You're saying that, you wish there was a peer group. They do have peer groups. Reach out to your OGs. There's things that you can control and can't control. It's just a lack of immaturity. He just has to grow up, basically.
I'm just saying more with people maybe in the league or maybe with the NBA Players Association. I don't know.
He's got options. He chose not to take those options. He thought he was better than whatever. And sometimes that gets to you. It's celebrity and stuff. But he learned today, and he learned last week. Oh, yeah. So I'm just waiting to see what the progression of this man will become. And like any story, it falls by the wayside. This is going to be long since forgotten. We ain't going to be drudging it up. It's just the topic right now.
And that's what happens.
Sorry to say. Yeah,
and that's what happens. Another one. So we had talked a little bit about Jalen Carter previously. He was the one that was later found out to be involved with the drag racing with the teammates from Georgia that had died in the car crash. Devin Willock and the staff member Chandler LaCroix. He got arrested, released, was at Combine, but didn't really participate. He showed up today for the Georgia's Pro Day, 9 pounds overweight from 2 weeks ago. I mean, that's significant, I would think. And then he didn't participate in all the drills. He did some drills, but then he had cramping and he was breathing heavy. And apparently his stock value is going down. Still, I mean, obviously first rounder, but he was supposed to be like a first round pick, a first pick in the NFL draft, number 1 pick. And he's not making too many good impressions right now. So I don't know. I don't know. For me as a woman, I think gaining 9 pounds in 2 weeks is hard, but maybe you're trying to make the pros. You're under a microscope already, and guess you went a little hard on the pizza and wings or something. I don't know.
Stress eating.
You said what? Stress eating? Yeah. All the carbs.
I mean,
something.
Look what he's going through. I mean, what do you expect this man to be? Like, I don't know.
Well,
whatever.
I mean, at least be able to get in there and do the drills.
It's a stressful situation he's going through. His mind's messed up. He's eating. Absolutely. I mean, this is just a bad situation. What are we expecting from this guy to do? I don't think you can bounce back from something like that when you lost a player, you lost somebody. I mean, it's a nightmare he's going through. I mean, I don't expect it to be anything. I'm not surprised, I guess, with this news that you're sharing. Like,
right.
I don't know what do you want me to say?
I don't want you to say. I mean, I'm just here to get your opinion. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
yeah, and that's why we're here to share opinions. You got yours. Yeah, I have mine. I just know, I know there's a lot of shit going on, but it's kind of like you trying to make that next jump. So I don't know.
I don't know. What's CJ Stroud going? That's what I want to know. Who's picking him?
You said what?
That's all I care about. CJ Stroud, where's he going? That's all I care about right
we'll
now.
see what that happens. And then the last update we got is, of course, we talked about Chris Beard before, who got fired by the Texas Longhorns back in January because of the DV arrest against his fiance, which his fiance later recanted what had happened. Well, he just got hired by Ole Miss. So his journey in basketball has not ended, and it barely ended for only about a month. So back in the coaching field for him.
For all my Real Housewives of Potomac fans out there, Juan Dixon did get fired from Chopping State as the head coach of the basketball team, because you remember that scandal that they had going on where the one student was getting catfished by the other assistant coach. He was posing like he was a woman and all that, and the sexual harassment claims. Well, Robin Dixon's husband, Juan, just got released from being head coach of the team.
Wow.
Now he's out of a job. What's going to happen on that new season of RHOP? I don't know, because he wasn't hardly on there anymore. Anyways, but he would take out his anger on Robin and frustrations, because he did have infidelity issues and all this kind of stuff. But now it just got announced today that he lost his job. He is fired.
Yikes.
Will he get another coaching job?
Yikes.
That is another interesting tidbit. So this coach just got a new job, and Juan Dixon is out of a job. I doubt that he will get another job. And where will he go now at this level? KC? I don't know. But that whole thing over there at Coppin was bad. You cannot. That was bad. That whole situation was crazy. You're catfishing a young student posing as a woman, and you didn't even report it.
What possesses you to do some stuff like that?
The fact that you were the head coach and you knew your staff member was doing this and you didn't report it. Okay, you're getting hacked, sir.
So you're getting like giggles off this? Like, what is that? What's funny? I'm trying to understand.
I don't know.
Really
the best
trying.
No way.
I'm really trying to understand.
Anyway.
I can't.
Poor Robin. Now she's gotta bring in the RHOP money to help keep the family afloat.
Oh Lord.
For all of y'all out there that watch that, that's just my little other.
That's Mo's thing, is the Real Housewives of any city. That's all Mo.
Oh, I know. I'm all about my housewives.
Getting it in.
Yes.
Hey, what's up to people in the chat?
Juan Dixon is his boy from back in the days. I know. Juan Dixon was that guy playing in the NBA teams. Like, listen. He has a job now.
What's up, Kente? What's up, Donnell?
What's up, Goose?
Shout out to Let the Ball Bounce.
Yes, Goose got a birthday coming up, right? Or did he have it already, or what?
I think his birthday is coming up. So happy early birthday. Happy early Jonathan said the Tar Heels. Yeah, I don't listen. I like the Tar Heels. It's unbelievable that they're not going to be in this tournament, which is...
Oh, I know. A few teams that aren't going to be in it. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's crazy.
It's wild. Before we get off the topic of TV and sports, I did want to remind everybody today, Ted Lasso is back. Listen.
Oh, yeah.
I love Ted Lasso. So they'll be out every Wednesday on Apple TV. If you haven't watched Ted Lasso, I strongly encourage you, once March Madness is done, binge it and watch them all, because they're hilarious. But yeah. Well, I guess we could start on some hot topics until our guest clicks in. I'm not sure. She might be just a little delayed.
We gotta keep it going. What's popping in the hot world?
I mean, we've basically been told today that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet. Right. Yeah, we already knew. But he came out and said it this time. So that was like the big hoopla this morning on all the news stations, is, of course, he is planning to come to New York. He's just waiting for the Packers to figure out what they need.
Adding more players to this roster and doing more trades and building another new improved Green Bay and adding.
Well, he already got Lazard. He already got Lazard over.
He's asking for more too. He's asking for more too to come over there. So yeah, he's building his little team over there.
Yeah, he wants OBJ supposedly. He wants Cobb still. I don't know.
Yeah, and not for nothing. I mean, this is gonna be this is a shakeup. This is gonna do something.
But what's funny? Check out what Zach Wilson posted back in January. He said if the Jets signed a veteran quarterback during free agency, he's going to make that dude's life hell in practice every day.
Yeah, I don't think he can do that. I don't think he can do that.
He might not even be in practice. Let's just start there.
he even if he was, he's not going to be able to do that. Come on, it's Aaron Rodgers.
You're not going to make.
You're not going to be able to haze Aaron Rodgers.
You might be able to bag some Cougar moms, but you're not going to put Aaron Rodgers to shame. That's what's not happening.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers is going to make him his B. Okay, all day. You're going to be my Mitch on the field. You're going to be all like, you're not going to give me hell. I'm giving you hell. Are you kidding me? You're going to watch from me, learn from me, and that's what it is. I need Zach Wilson to fall back, all the way back.
All the way back. Of course, in other news that hit a little closer to home, Darren Waller got traded to the New York Giants. He was posted up in there today. Of course, this is just 2 weeks after the couple got married. So RG3 had made this. Yeah, so RG3 had made this tweet about, that, after getting married 2 weeks later, he gets shipped off to New York. And Kelsey had mentioned probably because, Josh McDaniels wasn't invited to the wedding. But then she also posted a picture that we're very excited for New York. So let's get it. So it'll be interesting to see how this works for their first year of marriage, but I'm sure they can do it with a strong relationship. So, and who knows, maybe, I don't know when Kelsey's contract is up. Maybe she decides to head out east after a season or so.
Well, somebody posted that talking about it, and she commented on it like, laugh out loud. Like, what? What are you talking about? I'm here with the Aces. I'm not going anywhere. So,
well, that's good. But hey, she might get 2 rings, another championship this year, and maybe want to go do it again in a different city. Who knows? I don't know. The world is her oyster. I was just more offended that Robert Griffin III had to say Kelsey Plum of the Las Vegas Aces. I'm sorry, nobody knows who Kelsey Plum is. We have to refer her back to her team right now. No one said Darren Waller of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, because a lot of people are resortful WNBA, of course. It's just disrespectful like that. But I'm not even caring about none of that. Let me just give my take about Darren Waller leaving, okay? As a Raider fan, how we feel about this.
Talk to me about Darren Waller, please.
I don't care about that. Like, listen, I just got this man's jersey. Like, it seems to me every jersey I get of these newly
You just got his jersey?
I got his jersey like last year. I mean, but I just got it. So now I have to wear this 83. Now it's like, I'm wondering where I shop for whose jersey next. Josh Jacobs. I know his number's changing. Or do I or do I get a Tay one? What's going to happen with
You're going to have to get a personalized one or a throwback. You're going to have to keep the throwback. Who would have
thought that? I don't know, but let me finish. Who would have thought that Darren Waller was leaving? We had no idea. This was a blindsided act. He just signed an extension with us last season. We had no idea that this man was even on the table to be going somewhere as a trade, as a part of a trade. I mean, or just leaving. I'm beside myself. Yeah, he got hurt last season, but that tight end he's effective. So now he's over there dapping up with Daniel Jones and the Giants over there. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is now borderline me saying, I don't even know if I want to even watch these games. Where no Waller, like, they just posted with Jimmy Garoppolo coming over our offensive line with a picture of Waller in it, asking, how does this look for the Raiders offense? And then he's gone the next day. Talk about a tease. It's crazy. But I sent you a thing. I said the Waller Foundation is still here intact. He's always going to call Vegas his home. Yeah. I do appreciate that. They put out a statement, even though that Waller's in New York, he's still committed to being in Las Vegas for the Waller Foundation, the upcoming event that they have coming up soon on May 11th. In a couple of months, will still proceed as planned. And I'm glad that he still is linking Vegas to his community. He's not going to lose that, and we won't have. I mean, he can always have another branch of the division in New York, but I'm glad that he's still going to have a connection to Vegas. That's probably one of the other.
But this will probably be him and Kelsey's home, I would assume. So that's good.
I mean, I don't know. That's debatable. It's New York. It's like why Aaron Rodgers would go to New York. New York is a fabulous city. Why not go to New York?
I'm not saying don't go. I'm just saying, but they might still have a home here. They might have already purchased a home here together, or who knows?
Oh, yeah. I think they already had a home here already. I think that was a given. But, I mean, living in that home and playing for the Raiders is a totally different thing in that home.
Right.
He's not with us. So, it's a little upsetting.
Not with us.
We're not
happy.
Not
happening.
We're not happy.
Speaking of not happy, do you want to just then go into what else you may not be happy about with your team?
I mean, yeah. What's that going to do?
Do you see that the meme says going from Derek Carr to Jimmy G is like going from Jimmy G to Derek Carr?
I mean, the thing of it is that's not true. That's not highly accurate at all. Yes, it seems like a mid type of thing, but one thing about Jimmy Garoppolo is Jimmy Garoppolo gets you to the playoffs. Is Derek Carr? The issue we have with Jimmy Garoppolo is that he gets hurt too easily.
Right. I was going to say, is he going to stay healthy?
And that's the thing. Like, he can get you to the promised land. Carr could not. Carr was a fully healthy human being, still couldn't get us to the promised land, got benched the last 2 games. So it's just a matter of, will this healthy lineup will he be healthy? And with the squad that we have, and we did pick up a top wide receiver too. It just seems like this is a whole Patriots 2.0 type thing because Garoppolo has played
Jacoby Myers coming over.
Jacoby Myers, that's fine, but what are we doing for tight ends now since we lost Waller? That's my question.
Don't you still got Foster Moreau or whatever? Moreau?
Yeah, we still have Foster. Foster's not bad either, but what are we doing when this draft comes up? Like, I just honestly thought with Rodgers not coming over to us, I remember the rumors of Jimmy Garoppolo. I was in denial of not even mentioning it or speaking it into existence because he gets hurt too easily. I want it. He's fine. He is fine. It's a great eye to look at, but he needs to be healthy, and we need him whole.
Being fine ain't gonna win you no playoff games, ain't gonna win you no championships.
It's not. But the women are very excited for his fineness, and I mean, great, yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
But I need him healthy and whole.
Need him healthy and whole. All right. Well, we got a guest popping in, so we'll take a second, introduce our lady here, one of our good friends in sports media, and we love her a lot. So please welcome to the show, Miss Cassandra, the Sportsnista.
What's up, Cassandra? Good to see you.
How good to see you. I gotta get a book.
We know you've had a busy day.
I do have some good news though. So my 10-year-old, my son, is a martial artist, and he has been working really hard to get his black belt. And today was an important day. It was a midterm test qualification, and he was kind of fretting being able to break these 4 boards, and he did it. So now he's eligible to test for the midterm and keep him on track.
That's awesome.
Wow, congrats to him.
You said he broke 4. He broke 4 boards.
Yeah, so at each level, so first degree, there's like a specific kind of like sequence you have to do. It's palm heel. Then there was 2 specific kicks. You got to do it in succession. You get 3 tries, but if let's say you've missed the 3rd kick, you start over.
Wow.
So you are
good for him.
But he got it all at one time. So we just literally got back in the house. I ordered him some Nacho Daddy, and was like, you and your sister go somewhere for a minute. I'm gonna go cuss for a minute.
Well, welcome. We appreciate you joining us. Goose is in here. He said, "Hey, Booski, happy to see you on the show."
Hey.
Well, of course, it's Women's History Month, but just to echo what it was 2 weeks ago, we had UFC 285 here that you covered. John Jones came back. John Jones won, and we know you were there and took part in a lot of it. So, give us something about what you feel like John Jones being back and his win in the fight, and what that kind of means for the UFC and the heavyweight division.
So with the heavyweight division specifically, John Jones should actually clean out that heavyweight division. There's not a whole lot of competition for him unless Francis Ngannou actually comes back for just that one mega fight, and they both go off into their respective whatever it is they're going to do after fighting. John is going to be 37 years old, and it's just how much longer you want to be doing all that. He's going to be fighting Stipe next, who I expect for him to run through. The thing with John, so he fought Cyril Gane, and Cyril was ready for a fight, right? He's a technician. He's athletic. He was ready for a fight. John Jones is like coming in there to kill a motherfucker. That's what he is.
Yeah, right.
He's trying to kill you. And, if he was not fighting, he might be Dexter.
Jeez.
Different kind of dude who really just wants to like dismember you. It ain't just about winning a fight. So when it comes to the heavyweight division, I just really do expect him to be there until he doesn't want to be there. There's really small amount of dudes. And in terms of like the UFC, like, are we all back? I was like, we all back? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you now. I don't know. You cut out for a while.
Can you hear me?
You cut out for a minute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, your Wi-Fi.
I was like, wait, huh?
Yeah. It's my fault. It's raining and like some trees just fell down. Like it's some mess happening.
This Vegas weather, man, is ridiculous.
Yeah, we're on some bipolar stuff right now.
Seriously. But you know, the UFC is in an interesting spot for 2023. Like we wrote a story about this at LV Sports kind of Dana. You have back, and very soon we're going to have Conor McGregor. And unlike basketball, mostly the NBA, and to a degree the NFL, they are not really a league that leads with its superstars. It's about fights. It's about the organization. But when those superstars come back to the to UFC and they're all active in 1 year, I suspect we're going to see some beyond record-breaking numbers when it's all said and done for this year. Wow. Good or bad, every one of them dudes is problematic. Every last one of them. To say the least, they all got like case numbers attached to their names.
Oh my gosh. I was just surprised that they were already having another UFC 286 coming this Saturday. Like it's been 2 weeks and bam, you got another one. It's in London, of course, so it's not here in Vegas. We already have enough happening here in Vegas this weekend, but they going crazy. They just popping these fights off left and right.
Well, there was an event on Saturday at the Virgin, but that was not a pay-per-view. It was kind of a fight night, which they had been having at Apex, but they moved it over to the Virgin because they have the slap fighting finals over at Apex. But I think they're going to be moving around the country with like these smaller fight night cards, and you know that allows them to make money, allows the fighters to be fighting in front of fans. I think it's just a better overall experience. Apex is cheap though; it's like $3.99 for them.
Well, yeah, that would definitely probably beat London, I'm sure, in their venue. What about the women? Like, since it is Women's History Month, we'll talk a little about the women in the UFC. I know that there was a big fight that there in 285. Valentina had lost to Alexa Grasso, which I didn't realize how long Valentina had held this title, but it sounds like it's been a while. And so this was kind of like an upset.
Yeah, this was the 8th time that she defended that title. And I think we saw the fight before. Valentina won on a split decision. And you almost felt like the champ might have been slowing down a little bit. And I think some people just kind of like are figuring out the code. And after a while, you know, get some miles on you. She threw kind of what's like one of her signature back spinning kicks. And Alexa had trained specifically for it. And it was in a weird position. She didn't have a whole lot of space. And Alexa is skilled enough to catch that and know what to do afterwards. And then she got the submission. Valentina is an incredible martial artist, though. This is a woman who knows, I think she's fluent in 5 languages. Something like that. She travels the world to immerse herself into different cultures. She's home base is Las Vegas, but she is an incredible martial artist. But the UFC, and I think boxing as well to an extent, is at a crossroads where you're seeing all of their champions losing their straps. Like all of them have lost. In the past 12 months. The division, the skill set's catching up to them. And I think wear and tear just on the champions is going to show up after a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's another women's bout coming up in London. So Casey O'Neill and Jennifer Maia, I think it is.
Yeah.
Maia.
Yep. Another kind of pair of individuals who are positioning themselves to be competitive in the top 10. They're still the elite. Like, there's 3 or 4 women in strawweight and also in flyweight, which is Valentina's division. And then those 2 are very competitive. And then you got the 2 divisions that Amanda Nunes is champion and feather and in bantam, and a slim pickings up there.
Not much happening there. Yeah. And some people probably wouldn't want to go against her anyway. Might be dropping weight just to get out of that division.
Yeah. So there's talk of a super fight. Should Valentina win her belt back, there is going to be a rematch. It's going to be a while for the rematch. She took some damage in that fight. But if she wins that belt back, there will be a super fight between her and Amanda Nunes. And those 2 have fought before. And this would kind of be like, I think, the walk-off for those 2 women. And I feel like they deserve it. They definitely deserve like this big promotion to be made about them, and they need to be paid gobs of money, and they can go on about
that ain't gonna happen.
Well, the women of UFC make more than the women of boxing by a whole country mile.
Really?
So like combat sports, like, yeah, they can. But
I don't know about that with him. I really don't.
It ain't easy.
It isn't. And I don't know. And that Francis thing that you mentioned about Francis ain't coming back. From what I have on an inside source, he ain't coming back.
No,
he
and
got burned so bad.
Like,
there's no reason. He wants to enter in the realm of boxing. I think he wants to match up with that Tyson Fury situation. And I think that's his kind of end game. And if you watched him on Instagram, he's been dropping a lot of subtleties, context to the fact that it might be a boxing journey for him and what he's facing. And he's tagging Gypsy King and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is where we're going.
And I think that's where it came down to for Francis. Like, they offered him a lot of money, and it was an 8-fight deal, which I think is ridiculous. When you're 37 years old, you want 8 fights. All right. You want 2, maybe 3, and all your money's attached to that. But he also wanted the freedom to like go to box if he wanted to and come back. Should he box Tyson Fury, he is going to get smoked. He's going to get his ears boxed off. It is different when you are a big dude and an athletic dude in MMA going against a 6'9", 300-pound dude who is athletic and got real hands in boxing. The problem with Tyson Fury is he don't know what he want to do.
Yeah.
He can say, let's go ahead and do it. Like, he's going back and forth right now with Usyk, and being real disrespectful, unnecessarily disrespectful to a guy like Usyk, who's not really like a smack talker. He'll like be funny, but he's not being disrespectful. Deontay Wilder, that's probably a better.
That would be a better like stepping stone, and I feel like
that would be interesting for sure.
Much better, more interesting fight. But if he gets,
that's what it's gonna have to be. He can't
lights out.
Yeah,
it's just lights out. I just, with all of these men and women in combat sports, I wish that they get in and out as quickly as they can, making as much money as possible while they're on the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. What about, we got another upcoming big fight here in T-Mobile next month, Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Going at it. They've already been hyping it up for the last like month and a half, and they continue to. So April 22nd at T-Mobile is going down. Thoughts on that fight?
Well, before that, next weekend we have Caleb Plant, who is the Las Vegas transplant from Tennessee.
Caleb,
fighting.
Really? I didn't realize.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
At 168. This is both of these guys are in their prime. Real contrast in styles. Caleb is a mover, athletic. One of his trainers is Larry Wade, extraordinary fitness trainer. Caleb coming in shape. David Benavidez has not been known for his fitness. He is known to knock a MF out. So it's going to be real. And they do not.
Where's this fight at? Is it fight here?
MGM. Next Saturday, the 25th.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is, I think, the more important fight of the 2 that are coming up. I think people might be sleeping on this a little bit because of just all the nonsense going on. Tank and Ryan are not fighting for a strap. They ain't even fighting in a real weight class, let alone they're fighting at a catch weight. So it's an entertaining fight. I don't know why these two boys is like carrying.
Well, it's definitely entertaining because the smack talk of who has a better purse than the other, and they going back and forth, the jabbing on their wardrobe and how they dress and all of that is just very interesting to me.
Well, last time we seen boxers talking about like heels,
I know that's what had me like, wait a minute.
I mean, Mike was talking about eat your children. Yeah. Who will talk about eat your children? Like, I'm more comfortable with that than I am, with you fools with fuzzy jackets and high heels. Like, what are we doing?
Yes.
What are we?
And that's what they're talking. That was the crazy thing about it. I said, this is their batter. This is their banter back and forth. This is the press conference. This is what they got to say. This is their talk.
Okay, there's no such thing as a purse, okay? It's a purse, a pocketbook. It ain't a name for y'all. It's a pocketbook.
Like that was gonna do something.
You got butterscotch mixed in there. Cut it out.
I know. Listen, I know.
Oh,
that's
man.
crazy.
I cannot.
But I didn't know about the Caleb Plant fight. That is a fight that I should look into. That would probably be a good one.
That would be good. Caleb, I know it's probably
going to. It sounds like you're going to be busy with all these red dresses going on here. You're going to have to be bouncing around every week on something.
Let me tell you, I had like 2 kind of left in the closet that I hadn't worn yet because I was like, I ain't going to buy no more. I'm working on something.
Okay.
Something new from the Sportsnista. So I was like, let me get to the back of the closet on these next couple of fights, and then we're gonna do some new business.
Right.
Ooh, always wear red on fight night. Going to change it up, huh?
It's still gonna be something red, but it's gonna be a little different.
Well, we look forward to seeing what this new is.
And all of this sparkle and razzle dazzle. I want to see, honestly, Cassandra, you could do the Riri outfit and I'd be okay with that. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm like. If you splashing it, just
shout out to Alan with LV Sports. Yes. If Cassandra's working on something, watch out because it's probably going to be pretty amazing.
And he also posted the link on the article, so everybody click on that link
and can click on that link and listen and watch that article. Yeah, read that article. That's good. Well,
but Vegas is something else right now, you guys, right? I mean, I'm not far from Dollar Loan, so they had I don't know which tournament they had happening out there this week, and then T-Mobile had its own thing, and
Orleans,
UCLA
the Michelob Ultra, all the basketball tournaments. Then we've got the NIT coming here for the semifinals and finals for the men's at the Orleans. So that's on the 28th and the 30th of March. Then you got the West Regionals for the March Madness happening here at T-Mobile on the 23rd and the 25th. So that's the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 here at the West Regionals in Vegas.
I looked at
too much doggone sports out here. It's a lot of stuff going on. This is crazy.
Them tickets were already high.
Ooh,
and this is a pity that's
I was like, if my team was there, I'd have invested, but they not, so I ain't.
Yeah, I don't see myself. Unless I can get some free tickets, so if anybody out there want to just pass them along.
Come on, girl.
Do some press passes or something. I don't know. And then we got soap operas in sports happening too. People getting married and then traded on their honeymoons. What?
Yeah.
You know
we were talking about that earlier.
This is so crazy to me. I don't even know if I really want to be a Raiders fan again at this point. I mentioned earlier on the show that I have a Darren Waller jersey and Porquet.
Oh,
you know, and I'm such a fan of his that it's like, I'll wear it, but it's like it stands moot because now, like, what's this looking like? They already had the lineup set with Jimmy Garoppolo in a picture with Darren Waller, Kay Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, all of that time. I check out this offensive line and he's gone.
Here's what I worry about with Darren, and he's a professional. He's a grown-up. He's going to have to handle this. He's talked extensively about his battles with substance. And here in Las Vegas, he seemed to have created a support system, include his new wife, Kelsey Plum. And, he's got his foundation that he was doing work here. New York City is a different beast, and like, I hope he can get there and be about his business and get up out without it getting on him too much, especially if they're not successful right away.
Yeah. Which they won't be. Daniel Jones is still the quarterback.
Dude, I mean, I think
it's cold weather. And let me tell you something. It's cold weather. It's winters. Winters is big red flags.
And outdoors winter football.
I mean, you made a great point that I didn't even think about with him and being who he is. But he does have a lot of good outlets that he's speaking on, and hopefully he can keep a podcast going and keep those kind of things where he's talking about it and going through the motions and doesn't shut down. But yeah, to your point, New York is a monster. It's a beast. I didn't see it coming. I think this is a total blindsided thing. Like, we didn't know that was happening. Especially after he signed that extension last season. Like, I don't understand. I'm so confused.
I'm like, how do you do that? How do you give somebody an extension and then be like, I quit you. We don't go together no more.
I'm so confused.
We're done.
Take your name off the mailbox. It's just this thing. I am not a fan of this coach. I'm not a fan of the coaching GM at all.
That he didn't get invited to the wedding, that he decided he's just gonna clip Darren Waller. Like, they talked about the wedding and stuff.
You think he really cares about the wedding though? Like,
I think he was glad he wasn't invited.
Maybe he didn't get invited. Like, people saying maybe he was petty. I don't know. Like, it's just such a unexpected move. Like, where did this come from?
Right.
So I'm just pulling
all for a third round pick. Maybe they just wanted one more pick in the draft because the Raiders only got a third round pick off of it. That was it.
For next year, you said?
No, for this year.
Oh, it is for this year. That's what I'm saying. Why are we giving up draft picks for him? I don't like that.
You're not giving up draft picks. You're getting a draft pick for him.
We're getting a draft pick, but I mean, I don't like the fact that was even a thing. I don't even think like that was a bargaining chip for him.
Yeah. I feel like you should have got more. They should have got more.
Isn't that disrespectful though? Like,
it is disrespectful
for me.
It's disrespectful, and it's disrespectful for the Raider fans. You know, we thought we had something here. You know, you had this great fire-looking lineup. You franchise tag Josh Jacobs. You've got I just was expecting so much, and then you get Jimmy G, and it's like, oh, here we go. But then Waller's gone.
Like, I mean, is Jimmy G the move? Like, that's the guy. Like, is he just holding? Hopefully, like Stidham is the guy that, like, I don't know.
Well, Stidham's in Denver.
Stidham's gone too.
Stidham's gone too. So you got one quarterback on the roster.
Yeah. So we're not doing the Gruden age where you draft all these quarterbacks and you have spares and spares and spares. We're getting rid of quarterbacks and relying on one particular person.
About to go get
that he doesn't get hurt.
There's Carson Wentz is still available. Matt Ryan is still available.
Y'all take him. Steelers take him. Y'all take him.
And think about how disgruntled Josh Jacobs got to be, right? You franchise tag mans like that. He ain't happy.
He's not. I don't think Tay's too happy either. Because Tay put out a little message on his Instagram, was like, nah, don't ask me about this stuff.
Yeah, McDaniel's you're just like protecting his neck. I think he's like, I'm gonna keep this job for a couple more years, and I don't care whose feelings get hurt. That's what he's trying to do.
Oh yeah, he'll probably be in New York in no time.
Yeah, I hope so. Bye.
He'll be in New York.
Bye.
He'll be over there in jet country, and then it's like, oh, here we go. But even that, it's just very disappointing. I don't understand. I just feel a total blindside. We just did not see that coming. That was a very big shock.
So out of some other trades that have been happening in free agency, anything else surprise you ladies? With Zeke, we talked about Zeke being released.
I mean, Jalen Ramsey was a little bit of a surprise, but they mortgaged that team, 2 seasons ago for that Super Bowl. So you could see that coming apart. I just didn't think Jalen Ramsey was going to be the guy that'd be out of there.
I'm thinking the Baker Mayfield thing is a shock. Poor Buccaneers. Shoot, you think I got it bad? They got him.
Yeah.
I don't think they saw that.
I mean, at least Baker showed some life towards the end of the season for the Rams. But other than that.
Yeah, that is.
And the Rams really didn't have nobody. Kupp was injured, and there was some other shenanigans happening.
The fact that he's at the Buccaneers, people are not happy.
He's not really a replacement for Tom.
They're not happy. They're not happy.
Ooh, imagine what's it like being that dude. You're the one who's coming in, after their favorite girlfriend got them like the house and the rings that they wanted and everything.
Yeah.
They don't want you there.
Well, the other funny thing I thought was funny is that, Juju goes to the Patriots, but look at these pictures, they're going to pull up receipts. They're going to find out what you were doing. So he's been dogging on Patriots fans for a couple years now. And now,
well, he needed to go over there. He probably knew he was going over there. I mean, these guys all talk. When we talk, they talk. You know what I mean? He probably was knowing he was something was up. And not for nothing, Juju didn't do jack squat for me on my fantasy league, so he can go that way. I really don't care.
I mean, it was hard for him to compete in Kansas City, though. I mean, it was just too much.
It really was, but even when he did have that option to do something, he would collapse. So no, he can go that way. It's fine. Go on to New England.
Well, KC has an embarrassment of riches there. I mean,
yeah, they do.
It can turn into a situation like Brady with the Patriots. Just whoever's on the field, I'll throw the ball to them. Like whoever. Right. That's how the whole.
But can we talk about how the Bears took over?
No, the Bears making money moves.
Listen, the Bears are playing chess out here right now. I mean, literally, they get DJ Moore from the Panthers. They get a first round pick, a second round pick this year. They get a first round pick next year and a second round pick in 2025. They've also made a few other acquisitions outside of this one trade. But listen, I know there's some Bear fans out there that are definitely interested in what this season may happen.
K-Rock, he instantly wanted to call me and have bragging rights and puff his chest up. Like, see what my Bears are doing? Yeah, I saw.
But we'll see what they do on the field.
Do you see any irony in the fact that, it's because of Lovie Smith that they got these picks, basically because of what he did at the Panthers? I mean, now the Bears are sitting in that position.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is.
Panthers could have had their number one.
And I'm interested with Jacoby Brissett and see what that looks like with Eric Bieniemy over there in Commander Land and all of that.
I've always liked Jacoby for some reason I've always been a fan of him. I hope that he can get that, with Eric Bieniemy. I think that's a good look for him. I think the Commanders hopefully can make some better choices and have a better start to their season as well. So
the organization needs a major scrub, like all of that.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, this will be a new stepping stone for them for sure.
Yeah. A couple of things that I was surprised with is that Sam Darnold got signed by the Niners, but they already still got two other quarterbacks. I don't know how many quarterbacks the Niners need. Donnell, if you're still around.
Clearly they need quite a few. You see how they all went down like a house of cards when they were down to their fourth?
I see that. Yeah.
Clearly they need quite a squad. They need a whole Jackson 5 over there in quarterback.
Man,
it's the craziest thing ever to have seen in a Super Bowl game like that.
Absolutely.
In
a divisional game, in a championship game. Yeah. To see that go down against the Eagles, they're on their last leg, literally, and he goes down in mid-game towards the second half.
Insane.
So they need a squad over there. That makes sense. I mean, I can't.
And then I was surprised by Jamal Williams signing with the Saints. Like every time I saw Jamal Williams during draft or during Super Bowl, he's always talking about Detroit. We got this next year. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
And now
you didn't say nothing about your Rashad Penny. How you feeling about Rashad Penny leaving?
Tell me how many games Rashad Penny played total for Seattle. Because he's been injured almost as much as Jamal Adams has been. I mean, I love Rashad Penny. I wish him success, but we need just like the Niners need stable quarterbacks, we need stable running backs that are going to keep and stay healthy. So,
how do you know? Brian Salmon posted this photo of Derek Carr at, where was he? He was at whose basketball game did he go to? Pelicans game.
He's at Pelicans. Yeah.
I just found that interesting because he was never a Vegas guy. Like he would never. I mean, people are like, would he ever go to an Aces game? I know why he would never go to an Aces game. Okay, let's just say why. But he also wasn't really at Golden Knights games or anything around town. He was never really a Vegas guy. But he shows up in New Orleans, ain't really got a locker yet, and already he had a Pelicans game with jerseys and stuff.
The New Orleans PR team is trying to make it so that he's getting accepted into a new city. Like, hey, this might not be the one you wanted, but we're working with him and we're going to help support him. And maybe they're trying to get some New Orleans love.
No, it's the Crescent City, so they take you around. This is the Southern hospitality thing. We're going to take you around.
But that fool ain't even ring the bell at a Golden Knights game. Like he was never. like Vegas stuff. He just wasn't around.
And you got to think too that the South is still that Christian thing, Bible, all of that. He's a holy roller. He's going to be more accepted to that. That is the reason why he is going to be walking and introduce Southern hospitality style in the Crescent City because of that. Now, I'm sure he's going to fly to Vegas and do Sunday service still over at Church of South Las Vegas. But he's going to find a new church home here in the South. Huh?
He said he was doing that?
You know he's doing that. You didn't know he was doing that?
No, I'm saying, is he going to fly back here? Did he say he was doing that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm making a joke. I don't know.
Moses
feel like
is assuming that maybe that's going to happen.
And that was where he was mostly appearing than, going to New Orleans. But he probably found him a good church home down there. I'm sure they're going to take him in at somebody's church. He's going to be there and he'll probably be having service. But this is the city for him. And sad enough, Saints are my second team. And I thought I could shake this Derek Carr character. And it looks like he's a quarterback. So I will be keeping watch on the side with that. But that's what it is. This is a city of sin to him with the gambling, with the everything else. And this was not his, I don't think this was his heart. He had more appearances at that church than he would at a Golden Knights, to your point, or the Aces game, to your point, and just show up for work. So he wouldn't even do public appearances at the dealerships or none of those places. Guy in Fort would always have these Raiders come in signing jerseys. Derek Carr wasn't doing none of that. I just feel like he never felt a home here.
Well, I do want to shout out to the UNLV Lady Rebels. They play on Friday. They got their bid into the tournament. They go against Michigan, first round out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, too. So good luck to the Lady Rebels. I know,
and that doggone Barack Obama didn't pick my ladies. Like, how dare you?
Oh, no.
I looked at him in that bracket. He picked Michigan. He did not pick our ladies.
He picked Michigan. Terrible.
It's going to be a tough game for the Lady Reds. It's going to be a very difficult game.
It is. It's a tough game for my women's Southern University women's basketball team. They were going to be the first women.
They're playing right
now, Sacred Heart, and they would be destined to be the first SWAC Black women's HBCU team to make it to NCAA.
Do you know
it does not look good right now. It's a 55-44 with a minute and 35 left in the fourth quarter.
Well, I'm excited for the women's bracket. There's a lot of good basketball. There's a lot of good teams. There's a lot of good girls and young ladies, and they're playing their heart out.
I love it. I love this time of year. This is actually my favorite. This and what I call sports season is when you got football happening.
Like November when it's all four of them.
Yes, you get that 4 to 6 weeks of sports season, but right here, I love the tournament. I'm a little bitter this year at how Hubert Davis handled the North Carolina Tar Heels and the fact that he had the audacity to turn down the NIT invitation.
They could have been here playing. They could have been here playing. You could have saw them at the NIT in the semis.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not about you, bro. It's about those players.
His male ego got hurt.
They're going to play. Yeah, they need to Brad Daugherty. Well, they just need to get him up out of there. To me, he's not the guy. He ain't the guy. Back the truck up to Jay Wright. Wherever Jay Wright is, whatever he acts for, that's the dude.
Okay. Wow. The men's bracket, we talked again. I'll share it again. I've got a women's bracket going on for the women's challenge. Since I know everybody out there always has men's bracket challenges, I wanted to make sure that there was one for the women. So if you're out there, it's free. You can just find the Girl Chat Sports group in the ESPN TC app, the tournament challenge, and join, and winner will get a free Girl Chat Sports hat or beanie. But we just want to show and support for our women. It is Women's History and it's March Madness. And listen, I'm excited for South Carolina, for Iowa, for Caitlin Clark, Stanford. I mean, there's just so much happening out there. I'm just really excited for the women's brackets for sure.
I'm a big fan of the Girl Chat Sports beanie. We've been wearing that beanie for a couple of years. It makes an appearance on Lee Canyon and Mount Charleston.
Yes. Yes, they come in handy for sure. That. Especially in times like now when it's the middle of March and it's still hovering over 55, 60 degrees.
This bipolar weather is just ridiculous right now. I'm so over it. Thought the rains were gone and they're back.
I did have a couple of girl power shout outs just to make real quick. One, I'm sure you recognize this girl, Kristen Bell, KB from our Las Vegas Aces. Listen, she has been going off in Athletes Unlimited. She is now the number. She's the third. She's third on the leader scoreboard with over 3,623 points. She's also captain for this week in the week 4 roster. And she recently had week 3, she had her career high of 24 points.
She's going to find her way in the WNBA. She's going to be, she is a shooter. She is a shooter, man.
She is. Even when she comes off the bench when she was playing, she was a shooter. She was a great energy that she'd have. They wouldn't play her enough.
She was taking it to the hole. I mean, she's got good size too and power behind her. I'm just really impressed with her. And so I think that's really
She's been impressive though. She wasn't the first round draft pick for nothing. Like this was a good pickup that we had.
Yeah,
right. But I think
if her coach shows some trust in her, you know,
she needs to. She needs to. Yeah. There were times in games when we were watching last season why Kirsten should have been out there as a sub, like coming off the bench. She's fire. Like, and her skills definitely have proven a point here. Like we've seen it right now. Like, hopefully she'll get that.
Would be nice to see Becky actually like invest in developing some players at the end of the bench. You're gonna need that.
Yeah.
Especially if injury or, getting a break, getting a couple minutes before the third quarter or fourth quarter. Sometimes we need that. We went to a lot of overtimes too. And you got to have them legs, have that endurance.
Why do you think Golden State is so successful at winning championships? Because they play their bench. They rotate through their bench. Steve Kerr keeps going all the way to the end of the bench when necessary. That's what you got to do.
And you see some, different looks now. Few teams retool, they look different. So you got a game plan differently now.
Listen.
People are going to have to get used to each other again, like some of these rivalries. I can't wait to see Las Vegas and New York. I cannot wait.
That's going to be wild. Wow.
Cassandra, do you know anything that's going on with the Erica Hamby situation? I just saw a new pregnancy photo shoot that she did that looked amazing. But do we know anything else with the allegations with the organization or any updates on that?
Well, the WNBA Players Union has absolutely launched an investigation. They are looking into it. The same with the WNBA. So you got the league and you got the union both trying to see if there was any impropriety in how she was treated. The thing with Erica is that, she did make her allegations. If she got receipts, there's going to be a problem. If she don't got receipts, then everybody just moves on with their business. If it was just a closed door conversation and it comes down to like your word against theirs, and I do happen to believe her. These are not things that you would say for no reason. And, I am very disappointed in the way that she was handled. Because listen, there was a real basketball reason to make that move. If Candace Parker is available and you can get Candace Parker, you just come out your face and you say, we appreciate everything that you've done.
Yeah.
But we want to go get CP. But to try to make her feel bad and make it an emotional thing, like that's that bullshit.
Or fault her for doing something that women naturally do, which is get pregnant and have babies.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like not. If she got receipts, people's in trouble. So they are actively investigating, which I think is why she's been quiet about it. But we saw Andy from the Las Vegas Review-Journal specifically ask Nikki Fargas the question about the status.
They were like, nope.
Oh, yeah. I'm on
she's got another call to take.
Yeah.
She has to go. Sorry. Yeah.
So
they're not. Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. All they really had to say to her was, hey, we understand you're being pregnant. That's great. But we need people on this bench. We need to make this thing happen. We can't go a year without having a player playing for us. If they're going for 2 in a row, they gotta make it happen.
Puts fault on her being pregnant. You just have to say what it is. Like Cassandra said straight up, we want CP. This is what we're looking at. We're looking at the stats that you put up. We just think it's a better move if we go that way. Don't even mention the pregnancy thing.
Yeah, that's what makes it. That's what would get them in trouble.
That's what makes it worse.
If you had said she's available and you're valuable to them, and this is why we can get this trade done because you're valuable to them and she's valuable to us. and that's how you do it. But instead, it sounded like it just got messy and personal.
It did.
And,
very personal.
I hope she has a healthy baby, and I hope she comes back and balls out on them fools.
And her photo shoots look amazing. Like she looks beautiful. Like as it's just
and we are gonna miss Amaya too. So
they still got this marketing material.
Right.
You know, so like think about that. Like you're a little kid, and like this is like home to you, and then like you get ripped out of your auntie's like not your aunties no more. Like how do you do that?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Other things you don't think about when it comes to women in sports and the things that have to happen, you know? So, hey, we've come to an hour. I'm going to end it there and keep our fun day going on. Sportsnista, please let people know where they can find you and follow you for all your good information and posts and coverage of sports here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, great coverage at lvsportsbiz.com. You can catch me on Twitter at the Sportsnista and on Instagram on _Sportsnista.
Okay.
Maybe the internet. Maybe the internet knew she was in here.
I'm back.
All right, y'all. We'll be back again next Wednesday. Sportsnista, we appreciate you, Mo. Great show as usual. We will see everybody next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the start of March Madness. Get out there, get on your brackets, pop in a few, and join our women's group. We'll see you guys later next week. Bye.